All right, so in the last video, I showed you why I like LuluLemon, and in this video, we are going to trade it. We're going to do an options trade on it. It's kind of exotic, but it's actually easy to do, and it's a high probability trade, and it doesn't cost that much to put on. So I always like looking out into the future, right? When you buy options, I'm a leap buyer. I'm always buying leaps, rarely buying anything shorter term, because I kind of invest in options. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I put on my options trades as an investment and not necessarily a trade. They're very long term, and it gives you a higher probability of success because stocks like to move higher regardless, right? So hopefully, if you just give it enough time, all your options trades should work if they long biased, in my opinion. All right, so let's talk about the trade. So in the last video, we talked about how I feel that Lulu can go up to 570 in that area, right? Kind of drawing a little highlight. So we kind of move up to this area. So let's put a trade on, and I'm not going to be greedy. It's not the biggest trade, but it's a trade where we can make a decent amount of money, and you can put it on a bunch of different times, trade a bunch of contracts, or, I just did one contract, but two different trades. So here's the trade. I went out into the options chain, and I looked at the 21 January that expires 2022. It's 400 days from now, slightly over a year. And, with our projection, we think it's going to reach that price target somewhere in 2022, maybe even next year, but definitely by 2022. So back to the options chain. So we're looking at the options, and I decided the trade's down here, right? The green is the buy. I did two verticals. I bought a call spread and I sold a put spread. It's almost like a synthetic long. It's almost kind of like I'm long the stock, but when I bought the call spread, I kind of sold the put spread at the same time to lower the cost of the call spread. So let's go ahead and just analyze this and see what I did. I bought the 400 and I sold the 440, right? Now we estimating the stock is going up to 500 plus, okay? But see, I just want to, I think it can move at least 40 points in the next year. You see how I'm being conservative, right? So I bought the 400, sold the 440, and that trade is right here in the green. I did that for $1,500, right? Okay, so that's a 40-point spread. 40 points, which is about $4,000 minus the 1,500. So the most I can make on that is $2,500, right? Okay, so I wanted to finance that trade. $1,500, too much money, even though that's not bad at all. But hey, let's get it cheaper. If we can get it cheaper, let's get it cheaper. I'm bullish on the stock, so why not sell a put spread at the same time? And this one, I was real conservative. I actually sold the 300 and bought the 270. And that's right here. And I did that for $860. So that's a 30-point spread, right? So that's $3,000 and minus 860. I'm getting a credit here, okay? So I'm getting money to do that. So my risk on that is $2,140. All right, so let's analyze that. You're probably really confused, but you won't be after we analyze this trade here. All right, so here's the trade. I got both trades loaded up down here, and I got a couple of different lines. Now, down here below, hopefully you can understand this, and I wish I was live because I could take questions, is the stock price, right? Right here is the current stock price. This 385, this line right here. This line, now this all of this has to deal with January 22nd, 2022. Okay, we're going to talk into the future. All right. My break even for the trade, meaning, hey, what's the stock price? Where does the stock price needs to be where I just don't lose money and I don't make money? Well, that's $406. If this thing closes above $406, for the most part, I'm profitable. I lose no money Now that's just 15, what is that, 26 points from now? 21? My math sucks, okay? 21 points from now? In a year? Come on, Dre. Of course, LuluLemon can move 21 points in a year. Anyway, so see how that makes that a nice conservative trade. Remember, I sold up to 440. So that's the most I can make. I capped my gains when I decided to sell that 440. And if that were to happen, I would make $3,360. The whole trade. That's the whole trade. Now, if I didn't sell that put spread, the most I can make is $2,500. Right? $2,500 if it were to go over 440. But since I sold the put spread, I'm going to make a little bit more than that. I'm going to make $3,360 if it were to go over 440. Now, we did the graph. It's a good chance this thing is going over 440. All right? And I got a year for it to happen. So if I'm wrong, I got a year for this to play out. All right, what happens if it goes below 406? Well, I start losing money, right? And then right here, right at the 400 mark, because that's where I bought that call spread, the most I can lose is $640 at that point. Okay, so not bad for the most part to make $3,360. Remember, because that call spread, that 400 to 440 call spread cost me $1,500, but I financed it. I sold a put spread for $860. So the most I can lose is $640. That's it to make $3,360. Now, there's a curveball to that. You professional option traders out there say, no, that's wrong. Hey, I'm getting to it. All right. So from 400 all the way down to 300, the most I can lose is $640, right? Because I sold a put spread to finance the call spread, right? To make that $1,500 cheaper, to bring my cost to $640. But that's really not my cost. Because if LuluLemon were to fall out of bed and just totally roll over, go through that 300 price and sink lower than 270, the most now I can lose is $3,640. And by the way, that's the margin it would take to put this trade on. Why? Because that's the most you could lose. So you actually need $3,640 of margin, all right? The trade only costs $640, but the margin, you kind of need that much, just in case all goes to shit. All right, but come on. We are predicting this thing to go to 570. There's no way Lulu's going to 270. Of course, anything can happen in stocks. But, you know, if it's down here, we're going to have to come up with a new game plan. But we have time, right? Even if it were to start to work, it's like, if you see this purple line, that's today. So let's say for some reason this thing hit 270 tomorrow. It dropped 185 points. The CEO commits suicide and takes a lot of people with him. Well, I would be down $1,900 tomorrow. That's not bad under the circumstances, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, but there's the trade, and I hope you understand it. So basically, if this thing goes over 440 by next January 22nd, I'm going to be up $3,360. The stock market's closed. The trade only cost me $640, but my margin is $3,640. Okay, because that's the most I could lose. All right, so that's the trade. There are my levels. For the most part, my break even, $406. Let's look at the chart. $406. Wow, this thing, okay, yeah. The high is $399, 386.07 we close. So right here, just above this little gray area I got drawn, that's my break even right here. So we got a year for it to get across that line, right? And I'm predicting the stock is going to be up here somewhere. And of course, that 270 price, we get down there. Oh man, that's way down here. That's right about here. All right. So if we somehow come up and blow down through here, it's gonna be a pretty bad trade. But the odds are against us. The probabilities look well. LuluLemon is a stock that's just on fire, stays on fire for whatever reason. But just remember, anything can happen when you trade in stocks. So that's the trade. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you understand. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments. I wanted to do a separate video because I didn't want the last video to get so long-winded. A lot of people don't even stick around towards the end of the video to see the trade. So here it is. Here's the trade. It's a very high probability trade. It totally beats. Hey, let me pull this up real quick because I want to talk about theta burn real quick. And for the most part, I'm actually making 97. There's no theta burn. I'm actually making 97 cents, $1 for the most part. I'm actually making $1 a day with this trade if the stock price were to go nowhere at this point, because the data changes as time goes along. If I did not sell that put spread, my theta would be 13 cents. I'll be losing 13 cents a day. And of course, that changes as we get to move on and on and on. That theta price will change. But that's it. My delta right now is 9.13. That's kind of like having 9 shares of LuluLemon. This is going to trade as if I own 9 shares of LuluLemon. 386 times 9, like $3,474 worth of LuluLemon. So that's kind of how the Greeks working right now. These things change every day, and it will change over time as the trade is on. All right, so that's the trade. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the comments. We could talk options all day. These are the kind of trades I put on long term, and it puts me in the driver's seat. I don't have nothing to worry about overnight, or even next week, or even next month, or even the next 2 months. Because it's a very long trade. I just need this stock to get over $406, which is 15 points from now. By the way, the stock was up 22 points today alone. I'm just looking for 15 points in the next year. In the next year to break even, and then another 40, 50, another 54 points to make $3,360 in a year. In a year, right? Talk about a hell of a return. Hell of a return. Just be patient. Patient is the name of the game. And your portfolio, your P&L, with patience, will explode overnight. I'm not kidding you. You pull up your portfolio, put trades on like this, you kind of forget about it. You kind of look at your portfolio, a few months from now, or even a few years from now, even better. And you go back, holy shit. I made that much money? Hell yeah, because you putting on $3,000 trades. You're making all kinds of money. So anyway, that's the way I trade. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Hey, you can reach me on Dre Trades Twitter, Dre Trades Instagram, and right here, Dre Trades 2 in the comments. And I'll talk to you later. This is Dre, and I'm out.